If you get home from a busy day and the last thing you want to do is cook, you need to try this quick, easy, and delicious recipe that comes together in 30 minutes. These sheet pan chicken fajitas are packed with fresh ingredients, flavorful chicken, and it's one of my absolute favorites for a busy weeknight. Try these once and I promise you'll start making them on repeat because they are just that good. So let's get into it. We're gonna start off by prepping about 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I personally prefer chicken thighs over breast in this recipe because they are just so much more flavorful and almost impossible to mess up. Add your thighs to a bowl and season generously with extra virgin olive oil, cumin, smoked paprika, garlic powder, and salt. I didn't exactly measure here, but I would estimate it's about 1 tablespoon of each spice and about a teaspoon of salt. More like a full cup of garlic. Oops. You could also just use a seasoning packet. I really like the Siete chicken fajita flavor, and I have that linked below if you need. Not sponsored, but it's a great brand and I would love to work with them. Now you're gonna mix this up and make sure that every single part of the chicken is well seasoned. And this should go without saying, but make sure you wash your hands thoroughly after touching any raw meat to avoid spreading germs or cross-contaminating your food, especially because these next ingredients might be the very best part. Now let's move on to the vegetables. So when you think of fajitas, you think of peppers and onions deliciously sauteed with that perfect amount of spice. This recipe brings all of that flavor with little to no mess. We're going to chop up an assortment of bell peppers into strips so it's easier to fit in our tortilla shell. I've seen a couple of methods on how to cut a bell pepper, but here's how I do it. Start by cutting off the top and the bottom and set these aside for now. Gently remove all of the seeds and membranes in the middle by carefully cutting through and removing it with your hand. I also like to shake out the seeds for a little bit less mess. Lastly, cut the pepper vertically and lay it out flat, then slice it into your strips. And it's really as easy as that. Now just repeat with all of your other peppers. The key here is to choose an assortment of colors because this makes your sheet pan fajitas so pretty. And when your food is pretty, I swear it tastes better. There's gotta be some sort of psychology there, right? For my recipe, I used 1 red, 1 orange, and 1 yellow bell pepper. You could also use green, but as you'll see here coming up, we have a very delicious green ingredient that we'll be adding to our fajitas, and you cannot skip this part. Before we get into that, let's finish off our sheet pan with some sliced red onion. Nothing fancy for this, just cut off the stem of the onion, remove the first 1 to 2 layers of that tough outer skin, and slice it into medium-sized slices all the way through your onion. Also, I wanted to show you guys a little chef hack. So when prepping a bunch of veggies, I like to have a little throwaway bowl right next to me so that I can toss in any of the scraps, stems, outer skin, anything that I'm not going to eat. This is just so much easier than constantly going back and forth to the garbage can, and you can toss the entire bowl of scraps out at the end of your recipe. Alright, now back into it. So now it's time to prep the sheet pan. I lined a baking sheet with aluminum foil and layered on my ingredients there. You can either line them up neatly like I did, or kind of mix them up and toss them on there all together. It really doesn't change anything, so do whatever you would like. After my sheet pan is prepped, I season my vegetables with a tiny bit of olive oil, salt, garlic powder, and 1/2 of a fresh lime that is juiced. Another little hack for you guys, when you're choosing your citrus at the grocery store, pick out the ones with the smooth skin with little to no wrinkles or ridges. These fruits have like 10 times more juice than others. Once you roll it out and squeeze it, you'll see that it makes the world of a difference here. Next, preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit and put in your sheet pan for about 30 minutes to cook. While our sheet pan is cooking, we're gonna prep one last ingredient that adds a little bit of freshness, greenery, savoriness, and citrus to our fajita. If you guessed guacamole, you are correct. So I actually made an entire long form video on my guacamole recipe a couple of weeks ago, so be sure to check that out on my channel for a full in-depth tutorial and exact measurements on the recipe. But boy oh boy is this stuff so good. I swear I could make it like every day. And the secret weapon here is this little tool here called a molcajete. A molcajete is a traditional Mexican tool used for grinding, mixing, and serving ingredients like guacamole or salsa. It enhances the natural flavors and oils in the ingredients with its rough and porous texture. I don't know, I read that off Google, but I swear it works like magic. If you don't already have one, you can pretty much get them anywhere. I got mine off of Amazon and it was a great price for such a valuable tool. I definitely recommend. So basically for our guacamole, we're going to combine cilantro, pepper, lime juice, and salt with fresh avocado and vine ripened tomatoes. This is the perfect balance of flavor and adds so much to our fajitas. Remember to check out the full video on my channel for the entire recipe, and while you're there, feel free to give me a little subscribe. It really means the world to me and it makes this whole cooking channel 10 times more worth it. Now we just have one more step in preparing our delicious sheet pan chicken fajitas. So we're gonna warm up some tortilla shells using a tiny bit of avocado oil in a stainless steel pan. I am using white corn tortillas because they're gluten-free, but you can use flour, yellow corn, or whichever you prefer. Basically, all you have to do is cook them in a hot pan for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. And these are best when you serve them pretty quickly after cooking, so let's take this sheet pan out of the oven. At this point, your house should smell like actual heaven, and you'll know that the sheet pan of ingredients is all done cooking. So remove it from the oven, and for bonus points, you can add a little handful of fresh cilantro and another half of a freshly squeezed lime. And that's pretty much it, guys. This recipe is so delicious, healthy, and high protein. It's easy to make, and it's a fan favorite for all people. You can modify with different veggies or toppings as you like, and you could even switch up the proteins and make this with like steak or beef tips, and that would be really, really good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post a new video every single Friday where I show you how to make easy, healthy, and delicious recipes in under 30 minutes. Also, comment down below if you have any questions or if you try this recipe out, and let me know if you have any requests for the video next week. I read and reply to every single comment, and I love hearing from you guys. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.